I never imagined I'd be doing this, but I am starting a garage workshop. Sometimes life just brings you into new directions that you never would have imagined. It actually all started when I was traveling, and I found myself being very intrigued by the waste management systems in every country. For example, in Venice, I would see the boats coming to pick up the trash through the canals, and I noticed that too in Slovenia, as well as Korea, China. I even got to visit some incineration sites, some recycling centers, and I was just so curious about how things worked because waste is a universal problem. When I returned from my travel, I was able to leave a capstone within Climate-Based Fellowship. We first started by looking into how recycling works, because within the Bay Area, there are 100 different cities, and every single city actually has their own rules about what can be recycled, composted, and landfilled. As you can imagine, this creates a big challenge for people who work and live in different cities. From this process, I realized that I didn't want to just study the problem itself. I wanted to be more hands-on and have more control over the tangible impact that I can create. And with that, I started researching into plastic waste upcycling and found that there is a whole community of people who are doing this already. I know that with the waste that is already being shipped over to Asia, they're getting reprocessed and incorporated into the manufacturing process as recycled plastic. And so I've considered outsourcing and just creating a product and ensuring that the manufacturers are using 100% recycled plastic. However, I then realized that it's so important to keep local waste local, because if we are still just shipping all of that waste overseas, the shipping is still an issue. I decided that the only way I can make this work, taking local waste and processing it locally, is creating my own little workshop, hand making things from locally sourced plastic waste. My machine just arrived this week, and along with some of the molds that I've designed. It's pretty crazy that I am setting up my workshop because it's not like I'm a very handy person with tools. The last time that I was in a workshop prior to starting all of this was probably in 8th grade, and since then I haven't really done anything of this sort. So my first product right now is reusable name tags, and these are made 100% from lab waste, hospital waste. My second product that I am in the works of designing and creating new mold for is a soap tray. Plastic upcycling has a lot of benefits. It's actually diverting single-use plastic waste from the landfill. So being able to extend the lifetime and the value of the resources that have already been created. The second benefit is encouraging people to choose reuse over single use to begin with, so we can reduce the amount that people are consuming. As you can see, I am starting small. First, little baby steps and creating my little workshop, and I am hoping to be able to create even more products in the future. I will have another video about setting up the machine, as well as starting to make my first ever product in my little garage.